Let's chat.
It's hard.
You want to talk?
I know, that's disappointing.
Sit back. Let's work this
How's
out.
it going? What are we doing here? Where are you going? Hey there. Wow.
It's not always easy. It's amazing if you think about it.
Let's think about this.
Strange.
I have some thoughts about that. Life is hard.
Trauma bonded.
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Betty.
You're the devil and your daughter hates you.
She hates you, too.
Well, what are we gonna do about it?
I've got an ironclad plan.
What is it?
I'm not telling you.
You're such a dick, Frank.
Fuck you, Betty.
Fuck you, Frank.
God, you're such a bitch.
Your mother is.
Do you know why our daughter hates you?
'Cause you started dating that she-devil Marnie.
No. Because you won't stop talking about how much pain you're in. She can't stand listening to you drone on and on and on about how wronged you were in the divorce and how no man will come to save you.
She didn't say that.
Oh, she did. She was driving off on her bike, and I yelled after her, "Have a good day, sweetie." She flipped me off, and that told me everything.
Oh, sit on it, Frank.
Oh, you wish.
Okay, Father of the Year. What are you doing to inspire so much love from your child?
3 words for you, Betty. Gifts and presents.
Oh, so you're trying to buy her love?
Yeah, and it's working. She owns the entire Beanie Buddy collection, and I know the joy will seep at her at any moment. I'm just biding my time.
Seeping joy or seething anger, Frank?
Look, she's coming around, okay? And speaking of her being around, she needs to stay at your place tonight.
No, I got a date.
But I got a date.
But I got a date.
But Marnie will be pissed.
Look, let's not ever speak about our daughter ever again. You do your thing, and I'll do mine, and she'll bike to wherever she wants to go, and everything will work out fine. I'm sure of it.
First smart thing you've ever said, Betty.
Exactly. I'll pass along the gaping hole of need to my daughter, which only a man can fill, and you give her gifts, keeping her dependent on someone else, and showing her that love comes from material possessions. Perfect.
You really knocked your 2 brain marbles together to make that fire, Betty.
Get bent, Frank.
Fuck you, Betty.
Okay, granted, Hillary's from Canada and her parents are probably much friendlier than this, but we used the New York / Long Island accents to, I don't know, because those are ones we can do.
Yeah. And British didn't seem right.
And no disrespect to her parents, but also disrespect to Hillary's parents.
I know. They're just
The worst.
no, they weren't giving her a home to go to. She didn't know where to go.
I mean, it's rough when you have that 3rd kid or 4th kid and you've already abandoned parenting and now you have to raise this last one still.
Might as well, deal though. Take on the responsibility.
Welcome to Trauma Bonded. I'm Elly Westberg here with Therese Garcia.
Hello.
And today we're discussing episode 359 of the podcast. This is actually happening. What if you nearly froze to death? A brief summary. A police cadet takes a risky shortcut home one evening only to find herself trapped and helpless as night falls in a brutal Canadian winter. And full disclosure, I am the work for this is actually happening. And T doesn't work on the show, but she's still a wonderful person. She comes in fresh. And this show, Trauma / Bonded, is for the listeners, a space where we can talk about each episode, digest it, and reflect on it with empathy and also a bit of levity. That's Trauma Bonded. T, what stuck out to you as the heart of Hillary's story?
For the hardest story, I went with 1 word today, as I do every time. And that word today is slip. So slip, not a fall, just a moment, a slip. 1 misstep. And then everything changed.
Yeah.
Her body, her dreams, and her future. It was just 1 slip. For me, it reminded me that we're just 1 slip away from everything changing. It reminded me of the fragility of life, of our bodies, of our lives. Actually, it reminded me of a couple of the last episodes, particularly the restorative justice one around the driver who was texting Just one moment, right?
Give me one moment in time.
Wow, it's sensitive. But it's just like 1 millisecond, right? And that did it. That changed everything. But with her, with Hillary, that one slip made it so it felt like she lost everything. She lost.
It changed the whole
It changed.
trajectory of
Yeah.
her life.
She lost her
Everything.
toes, her job, her future. And then it wasn't just about what she lost, but it was also about how she survived and how she rose from it. But it did just get me thinking about the fragility of our lives. So, to be more present and to treat our bodies well, treat our lives well, because, nothing is forever.
Yeah. I mean, that's very scary to think about.
Yeah.
That anything, our whole lives are turning on a dime. You get used to what we're doing.
I've been thinking about it a lot, actually, particularly with like our jobs too.
Yeah.
Like we are talking about it just earlier. Like if I lost my job, I'd lose everything, I think. Or if I lost, and then I also thought about it, like one slip, when I like sprain my ankle or something, it doesn't like,
It throws
it throws everything off for like
kilter.
months, and it always happens when I'm like, I'm really taking over. I'm like getting into my fitness finally.
Yeah.
I'm really, taking control of my body. And then I do that and I'm like, all right, well, it's over.
I mean, if you can ponder it so much that you become agoraphobic, like you just want
That
to
too.
be stuck in a room on a comfy couch, like you don't want to go and do anything because it's so scary how, especially when you have a physical job.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about how your job quite literally got its claws in everything in your whole existence, but you can also think of it in terms of someone that makes a lot lesser money, someone that has a physical job.
Yeah.
I have certain jobs that I take freelance wise are physical and I can't do from home. If I couldn't do them because of a slip and fall or some kind of injury, I'd be fucked. My partner is works in a restaurant. It's entirely physical. And so many people have these types of jobs where you could have one just bad accident and lose your entire livelihood. It's scary as shit.
But then there's also like, with the kids or something, and you're like, you want them to be on their scooter or their bike and just feel that total wild joy of going down the hill and just like, yes, And then there's that feeling of like, oh my God, what if they totally crash and hurt themselves?
And then you're like, this is your new like constant reference point.
Yeah.
Oh, before the accident,
Yeah.
she was.
God, and there's all these
pitfalls.
Yeah.
Scary as shit.
I mean, how do people live?
Well, we're doing it.
How do we do this?
We're doing it.
And we're just sitting here. I mean, but but still.
Yeah, but if you get too down deep in these fears, that is what causes you to become agoraphobic. You won't leave your house.
It just takes one.
Yeah, it's pretty frightening. But this isn't a podcast to frighten people.
No.
Get outside.
Joy.
Ride your bike. You'll be fine.
Feel joy.
I think the biggest heart of the story to me was, and I think this is a predominant theme that she talked about a lot, is this idea of what a man's role is in her life. And maybe that's too specific, but it's really, I guess it's less about a man's role and more about how important independence is. And I'm not talking about control, because she talks to control as well. I'm talking about independence. And that's in your body, that's financially, that's who you love and how you love, to be completely self-sufficient in yourself or self-possessed in yourself. And that is true freedom, that is true independence. And I feel like she got it in the end. Like she figured it out in the end. She had to go through a lot of iterations of it. She had to deal with some bad modeling behavior that she was shown by her mother specifically, and that she ended up falling into when she felt like she had lost her confidence. But in the end, I think it's for all people, men and women. But I only can speak from a female point of view. I just know that it is so wickedly important to have your own sense of self as a woman, because if you're in a partnership with someone that completely pays for everything and takes care of everything and there's a situation where you don't want for anything, that's wonderful, that's lovely. But if that goes away, what are you left with? You're only left with yourself and your own means and your own skills and your own passions. And I just think it's so wildly important to maintain those things so that if a relationship or situation does end, you can still be independent and free. My foot's asleep and we're going to get to it, but Hillary's whole entire legs were waking up from being frozen. And I'm just thinking about it right now. Like, think about when your foot or your ankle or your leg falls asleep and how you have to kind of jar it and it like kind of has that sharp like shooting pains to like wake it up. She had that in her full both legs for days. Think about that.
Yeah, no, about that independence thing. I think that's a good heart too. I was thinking about that feeling when she was her birthday and she was so upset and she just wanted to go for a walk, and they basically put her in the backyard in her wheelchair and all she wanted to do was go for a walk.
Yeah.
That feeling of feeling stuck.
And that's a whole other thing. Being trapped in your own body, that's a whole other thing. You know what I mean? Like, you enter a marriage or a partnership or a business or whatever, and someone's foot in the bill, and then all of a sudden they're gone. That's a different level of losing freedom and independence. Your body takes a turn, takes a slip, ends up injured. Now you're trapped in your body. And that's a different level of losing freedom and independence. These are the most valued things. These wars are fought over these things, freedom and independence. I cannot, as the older I get, the more I understand how valuable these things are and how much they are worth fighting for. I never want to be under the thumb of anyone else. And I don't, and I mean that in all types of ways. Sometimes we have to be for a moment to learn or whatever it is. Sometimes it's just it's a time, but to get to a point where you get to have that in all facets of life, isn't that the ultimate goal for every person ever born on the planet? However that looks, I think it is. And people might not even be able to say it like that, but I think those are the highest valued values.
Valued values. Highest valued values.
Bless Hillary's mother, right?
Bless her heart.
Bless her little heart. Divorce is hard on me, though. So can you imagine talking to your 9-year-old? Mom, this is really fucking me up, but it's hard on me.
It's me.
And then her dad is just buying her stuff. Here's a Beanie Buddy. Did you
maybe
hear?
In Canada, it's Beanie Buddy, maybe.
But you heard her say Beanie Buddy.
She said Beanie Buddy. I wrote that down. It's Beanie Baby.
Beanie Babies, yeah.
But in Canada, it's Beanie Buddy.
Different name, slightly more expensive.
Maybe it's a totally different thing. Who knows?
But this whole, let's leave it to our child to decide where she goes at night because we live down the street.
It's heartbreaking.
So
she doesn't even know where to go. And then it's like,
to not feel wanted / not have any kind of schedule / not have any kind of stability where you really, I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like, the most important thing for a kid is to have a schedule and to have stability
and to feel wanted.
And to feel wanted.
That's all I want is for my kids to feel wanted.
Yeah.
When I see my kids for the first time in the morning, when I pick them up from school, my face and eyes will light up with so much love.
It's true. I've seen it. Is healthy co-parenting like a newish concept, would you say?
I think so. Because isn't it back in the day, like, there's a lot of fighting?
Yeah. This whole, like, let's be healthy individuals co-parenting together.
Like they're friends.
I think it is
they're
a newer
practically
concept.
friends now, right?
Her dad takes on a devil in disguise.
Fuck you, Betty.
Right?
No, that's
back in the day.
I mean, yeah, that's but his that's Marnie in the skit.
Fuck you, Marnie.
What? No, it's
she was talking about her stepmom.
Sorry, that's you saying that.
No, I wanted to know so much more
about Marnie. Yeah, what's that about? Yeah. What's she doing? I wouldn't say that because I like
I mean,
mine.
she sounds like a stone cold bitch. According
Yeah.
to Hillary, because of this woman, her dad has to move, sells his house, loses his
Yeah, what's
job,
wrong?
has a heart attack, has a mental health crisis.
Had to
Like,
go to the psych hospital.
I want to know so much more about
What'd
this
you do?
woman. Dealing with this and her mother just made Hillary like a hardcore bitch. If you asked her friends back then what they would characterize her as, she said, probably a bitch.
Yeah, just bitch.
Respect.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay.
And, she loses the stability when her stepdad, Harry, died. He was the only one providing any kind of structure for her life. And her mom becomes another mess again. Now, the mom is left without Harry's help. And according to Hillary, she's got this issue of like comparing herself to others. And as we all know, comparison is the thief of joy. And also is constantly believing and saying to her daughter, if there was a man in this house, you
In
wouldn't.
the voice.
If there was a man in this house,
You wouldn't talk to me
wouldn't
like
be
that.
talking to me like this, Hillary. I need a man. What a terrible fucking.
I think she would talk to her like that because she was rebelling when Harry was there.
I get so judgmental because I don't have kids. So from the outside looking in,
And it's true, she's very judgmental.
I am. It's easy to see from the outside when a mother, especially, is sending bad messages to her daughters about needing a man or putting value in how much value they put in that. But we can't be mad because she was also raised by assholes, So what are you gonna do? It's all about understanding and learning now and trying to change future behavior, breaking the cycle as they call it. So Hillary is sporty and she loves dogs. She wants to be a police officer because of a movie. And she says that what she loves so much about policing is the black and whiteness of it all. Do you think that policing is black and white, T?
Oh,
Maybe
I'm
in
not-
Canada.
maybe. There's a lot going on in the U.S., so it isn't really black and white. But I was going to go into cop movies with dogs, but okay. Like Turner and Hooch.
Ooh, yeah. We could talk 20 minutes about Turner and Hooch if you want. I'm surprised that you didn't know that I was going to go there.
I'm surprised you didn't know that I was going to go there.
If anything is not black and white, it's policing, Hillary. There is nuance in policing. It's about de-escalating situations. Of course, things are wrong and right. Things are illegal and legal, but usually the cops don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I don't think that it'd be an easy gig by any means. So she's dating this guy, Matt, and he dies in a four-wheeling accident, which I feel like is a common way to die in Canada.
Did you research alert that or just say that? Because I'm not
Because
sure.
it's snowing, people have four-wheelers. And I do want to say that when I talked to Hillary during our pre-interview, we probed this topic way more than I feel like was profiled in that episode. There's so many complexities around the emotional components of her just kind of just starting to have like a more romantical relationship with Matt. And then when she loses him, when she finds out that he's died, there's a ton of feelings that she's feeling about that. And she doesn't know what to do with it. As she says in the episode, there's this feeling of not understanding or not feeling entitled to the space of grieving with his close family and friends because she was relatively new in his life. So this need to feel close to him or to understand how he was important in her life really does contribute to why she was out the night that this incident happened. Because she mentions it that the people that she was out with that night were close friends of Matt, and she really desired to be closer to them so that she could feel closer to him in some way. And I think this is always fascinating. I mean, of course, condolences to Matt's family. Losing a teenager in that way would surely be so fucking horrible. But it got me thinking about when someone dies, it leaves in your brain this idealized version of them. So no, everyone sort of has to live up to Matt. This is an idealized version of him. He never got to become who he was going to become. So Matt dying is the whole reason she was out with this group on this fateful night at all. You're constantly going to be comparing everyone to this version of who you were dating when you lost at like the height of your love. She loses her dog, which is sad.
Rito.
Yeah. She's got this year of losses.
Yeah.
And she wanted to be around Matt's friends to help fill this hole that she felt that she had. So the February night.
It feels like you're being safe. You're not driving.
Oh, girl.
You know, you're like, I'm not even like wasted. I'm just drunk.
You're beer drunk. That's not even drunk, really.
And you're pretty, I mean, you're athletic. You're young. You've been going through training. You feel like pretty good.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And dudes always have to ruin a walk home by roughhousing.
Well, it's not just dudes. I remember I played rugby back in my day. We've all done it.
We've all done
this stuff. It's just
sometimes you fall.
Yeah.
I mean, salt mine.
Well, I mean, that's very specific, but you know.
So she talks about how she's climbing across these salt bales. And if you want to see sort of what this looks like.
I couldn't picture this. It was hard for me.
If you can't picture it, go to the Actually Happening Instagram. There's a picture of what the salt bales look like. If you go to Actually Happening on Instagram, you can see a picture of what the place that baled these salts.
Oh, I get it. You get kind of pinned.
So she's running across to climb over, and she just like falls in.
It's like your foot gets like that.
And yeah, and it's like too deep to pull yourself out.
Your weight is pulling your foot down. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see.
So she's running across these salt bales, falls in. Her body, it sounds like it's like a twisted, mangled mess, right? It's snow on plastic, which is slippery. I can imagine what it feels like. She falls in, her body's twisted, and she starts to panic. And I don't know if it said this in the episode specifically, but she kicks off her shoes and socks.
I didn't.
Yeah. And as she's kicking and flailing, her head is down low. So the snow is piling on her face. And that's why she said she felt like she was going to suffocate. And I mean, imagine this. It's insane.
And blood is coming down, right?
There's blood on her hand.
No, I mean like your circulation, right?
Oh, yeah. Totes. And she says there's this voice in her that tells her to stop panicking. Is it Matt? Probably not, but maybe. And she starts to swallow the snow. She's basically eating her way out of being suffocated to death.
Yeah.
That's the only alternative. If it had been anything else, if it had been sand or something like something inedible, she would have suffocated. It's crazy. It's insane. She's stuck. You know, when we did the pre-interview with her, what beckoned my brain back was you've heard about these stories in these last couple of years of teenage boys getting stuck in weird situations. Like there's one specifically, he was crawling in over the seats of like a minivan or a van, and he went over head first over the back bench and just got stuck in a way that he couldn't free himself, and he was stuck there and he ended up dying. These are like tame, what we consider safe spaces. There was another kid that climbed over some like gym mats or gym gear and got stuck behind the mats or between the mats and couldn't get himself free, and he died that way. I mean, these are places that you don't expect people to injure themselves, let alone die, but she should have died there that night. She's stuck, man. And she's cold, and she's drunk. And this is a time when hypothermia helps. She sees the frostbite a-coming. And the thing with hypothermia is you just want to go to sleep. And you shouldn't if you want to survive, but at least it's sort of like a calming, peaceful way to go, potentially. And here's a mom that deserves an award.
Yeah.
Chelsea's mom.
I love Chelsea's mom.
That they go and retrace their steps and find her, I think it's a miracle. I don't know if it was Jesus or God or Allah.
It's Chelsea's mom.
It's Chelsea's mom. It got me thinking, T, like, how many times did we go out and then drop each other off or send each other home and just
someone disappears.
Just assume we made it home.
remember? We don't know where those two people went.
Oh, the acid guy?
Oh, I thought it was mushrooms. Whatever. We don't know where they went.
I did have a dinner party where there is a guy that went up on my roof and we never saw him again. But
We didn't hear about anything from people up on the roof of your apartment.
my point is, we would commonly get rid of each other at the end of a night and probably not talk to each other
Till
at least another day.
Yeah.
Like, you just assume people are nursing their hangovers or whatever. That I'd be curious to know more about, yeah, what Hillary's friend Chelsea and her mom started talking about that made them say, like, we need to go look.
But if we were journeying back home, like that night, let's say from
Yeah.
New Year's, if we're journeying back home together that time and we're like, oh shoot, we missed the bus, and we're all journeying back. If I had lost you, I'd be like, where's Elly? I'd probably look for you.
Well, when you think about it that way, it's like almost too long it took them to go find her.
That's what I was thinking. Like I remember it reminded me of when we were like last weekend and we were journeying back on the street. I remember next to the trees, it was like San Mateo or whatever, and we stayed at the cabin and we were walking down the dark road. It was the night.
Oh,
It
Nevada
was our
City?
first. No, it was the first last weekend.
Oh, first? Oh,
Remember?
Pacifica?
No, first.
What was their first?
I don't know. I kept saying pants. We watched that scary movie, but we had dinner and we walked down a very scary dark. This is what it reminded me of.
Tell me more.
We walked down. It was super dark and it was like a kind of a not busy,
Where
but
did we have dinner?
it was like a fancy-ish small town
What did I eat?
cabiny. Like we all had steak or something, but we asked the chef to pick.
Okay.
It was you, me, Nate, and Whit.
No, I know last weekend is.
And it was a cabin.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Scott's cabin. It was a friend
Okay.
of Whit's. They had a little cabin up on
San Mateo, right?
Skyline Boulevard.
Was it San Mateo?
Maybe County. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh, and
We walked-
Nate killed that worm by throwing it in
Throw
the
it
tree.
through it. He doesn't think he killed it.
He killed
He
it.
thought he saved it. But remember we walked down that kind of scary
Yes, no,
dark
yeah, okay,
road?
now I remember. Oh my God, yeah, that was-
That's what it reminded me of. This whole thing reminded me of that.
yeah, and if one of us had all of a
Disappeared.
sudden-
I would have turned around and been like, where's Elly?
Where's Nate? Is he in the
Yeah.
cocktails?
Like
Yeah.
I probably would have turned around. Like, why didn't they already turn around? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, you're right. You're right.
Like I would have already turned around.
Yeah, fuck Chelsea and her friends. Or no.
I mean, how many people were there? I don't know how many people there are. I'm just saying.
Anywhoosie, so they find her and she's alive and they put her in an ambulance. And of course, she's tired and she's thirsty because she'd been drinking and she'd been flailing and she had to be so dehydrated and she asked for water. And what do they say to her, T?
I don't get why they couldn't give her water because they said they couldn't give her water because she'd been drinking. What's
kind of
that?
science is
I thought it
this?
was like you have to give her water because she's been drinking.
I mean, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I was so confused. I had to rewind it and be like, that's the opposite,
Yeah.
right? I'm no doctor,
I don't
but
get that. And she kind of takes it as a judgment.
couldn't because out drinking all night.
Yeah. Because you were drinking last night. What
just
the
like
fuck
some
is this? Then?
punishment?
Yeah. But she takes it as a judgment, I think, in my purview. Like, that's how I took it. Is like, hence her strong reaction to like her protesting that she tried all she could to get out of it.
Yeah.
It was almost like they were shaming her, like, you're not allowed water because you were drinking last night.
But it could save her life, probably.
It's so weird.
don't
She
know.
was
Like
so
a warm
thirsty.
water? Maybe like a warm water?
She was
Room
so thirsty, bro.
That's weird.
And then, this recovery that she has to do
Yeah.
in the hospital is insane. It's insane. Thawing your legs out, the pain, the incredible pain of thawing big ice blocks out on your body, and that her hand is
Like
the paw,
paws.
which is kind of cute. And and the ICU is like expecting her to die.
I'm glad she didn't really know that they were expecting her to die.
She talks in detail about how they had to cut open her foot and she could see her tendons and the bones. If you are into that kind of thing, it is a picture
Trigger warning.
on
Would have
Instagram.
been nice if I got a trigger warning
Sorry.
on that.
It will be
Ellie's like, oh, look, salt bales, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, what?
Well, I just clicked on an email.
Oh God.
Go to Actually Happening Instagram. You'll see the picture of the foot if you want. It's disgusting.
Hey.
It is.
Okay. Can I see?
You sure?
Yeah, because I keep glancing away. But let me see. Oh yeah. Oh geez.
Mama. And this is what. Oh, Sharon.
Which account?
Okay, wait.
Don't.
Do you want to see her foot, her hoof foot?
Okay. Because she had to get all her toes amputated.
There we go. This is the hoof that she was upset about seeing. It does look kind of hoofish.
Yeah.
Again, you can see pictures of her hoof, foot, etc. On Actually Happening Instagram. I thought she said a below knee amputation, but she was saying a below knee amputation.
Yeah. The first time she said it, I was like, is this like a medical? I thought she said
Like-
baloney the first time
Like
too.
the meat is all minced
I was
up.
like, that's gross. I didn't go. But I heard it the second time and I was like, oh, baloney. But the first time it was definitely.
She says that I'd rather die than lose both my feet. What do you think about that?
Well, not true. Well, she didn't lose both her feet, right?
I mean, both were very much amended,
Yeah.
edited. I think her journey is so incredible because at every kind of step, you think, oh, how can she go on? But she just keeps going on.
Yeah.
And I also think it's a reminder to all of us, like, if we look at something like this, we think, there's no possible way I could ever do that. I could never get through that. But you would do it just like she does it. You just face each decision as it comes, each step as it comes. And you can do hard things. We learn this all the time about ourselves. And I think these initial days in the hospital compared to where she is now, I think she probably would say definitely she never probably would have thought that she would ever have gotten as far as she's gotten today. It's fucking difficult, man. What about this tub that she says they keep putting her in the same water? That can't be right. What kind of socialized healthcare is happening up there in Canada?
I mean, it's free, but it seems a little.
I'm kidding, y'all. Don't come at me. But imagine waking up from surgery and you just casually, unexpectedly catch a glimpse of your black hoof foot.
Wait, someone can't tell you a little bit? They just lift the blanket and that's the reveal?
Shocking.
Someone can't mention something? Trigger warning you?
Ugh.
Like here, like we have to trigger warning people when you see a photo, but you're not going to trigger warning someone when you're going to reveal your
See their
own
own
foot.
Hoof foot?
It'd be really nice.
Did you look up a tilt table?
No, but she
I did.
described it really well, so I
thought
thought
so
I got
too.
it. I thought I got it.
So your body is so fucked up from being down for so long that you have
It
to
makes sense.
practice restanding, basically.
Yeah.
If you Google tilt table test, you can see loads of images about.
This is how I pictured it.
Yeah, but it's exactly how she describes
Yeah.
it. Oh, when she talks about standing on her feet and
It felt
it's
like
standing on
bone. Ah.
And then her sister takes her in when she finally gets to go home. They have 3-hour baths daily. I mean, that's a hell of a sister. Her sister is a fucking saint. But Hillary's angry, and I don't blame the bitch.
Daily baths.
Same water. Disgusting.
Same water?
I'm just
Does it have to be the same
I'm
water?
just kidding.
Always with the same water. Are they lacking water in Canada? Is that what's happening?
How sad was it that her friends couldn't show up for her first birthday out of the
I don't-
hospital?
What was that?
Hey,
they have to
T.
go to a different party?
Stop using your feet to be such a bitch.
I know. What was that? What was? I mean, she was making it seem like she was the way she said it, like she told the story. She made it
Being
seem
on
like she
your
was.
feet. Ugh.
Stop manipulating us. The way she told the story made it seem like it was her fault, right?
That's so sad.
I was like, it's not your fault.
No.
Your friends
friends
are the
suck.
ones that suck,
The
dude.
same ones that abandoned you that night.
Yeah.
Where was Chelsea?
Yeah. I was like, no, I'll go to your birthday. I think I'll sacrifice the night to come.
I mean,
What's that?
did you get the sense it was because her sister lived far away from where her friends lived?
Let's share an Uber, right?
Make
Let's
an
split
effort.
it. Let's split the Uber,
I
right?
thought Canadians
Do
were
they
nice.
Uber? What's up with Canada? I still don't. We're having a lot of questions about Canada. If we have any,
51st date, potentially.
what? What are you saying?
Trumpy wants to make it 51st date, Canada.
What's that mean?
Like how we have 50 states in America.
Oh, 51st date.
If
Sorry,
we
I
just
thought you.
annex Canada.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the movie. Sorry,
What movie?
51st. I'm sorry.
Oh, 51st dates. The Drew Barrymore movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was so
my
confused. I thought
God.
that was in
This is
Hawaii.
like baloney me again.
Baloney knee. Baloney surgery. Baloney surgery and 51st dates. I don't know what we're talking about.
We're having too much fun here. She talks about how she feels trapped in her body. Totally understand that. When you're sick, when you're fat, and you can't get
What?
away from your
Did you just call
body.
her fat?
No, I'm talking about you understood.
Me?
I'm talking about me, actually.
Did you say me?
But you know
I'm
what it's
talking
like
about
to
you.
feel
Like what?
just trapped. Like you
Yeah.
can't escape what you're feeling. Dog saved her life.
Lexi.
And then there's this whole segment about talking about how she gets back into drinking again. And the
Yeah.
wonderful thing about drinking is it
Ugh.
numbs your shit so you
It
can
does.
dance. But goddamn, that hangover must have been next level.
Yeah.
So
And on a very small level, when I used to sprain my ankle,
Mm,
and a very small level, sorry, but I'd be like, yeah, it's like nothing.
just extra level hangover.
I'm gonna go running. Yeah, numbs everything. Don't do that.
So she has to grieve her career choice. She has to grieve her athletic self, her confidence, and she feels unattractive. And you know what happens when you feel unattractive? You
Bad choices.
let loser men into your life. And she's like, drinking and bad men and bad decision making and low confidence. And I was like, I feel seen / offended.
Oh, what?
Because it was bad. It was all bad. I'm like, these are like the basic tenets of my personality.
Oh no,
Drinking, bad man decisions, and low confidence.
that's you?
That's me in a nutshell.
Oh God.
But the brother-in-law kicked her ass out of it. And she's going through this big like neuroscience education. And then what happens, T?
COVID always ruins everything, doesn't it?
Raise your hand if your career was sidelined because of COVID.
My hand is lowered. Oh, but Elly has her hand raised.
Do you think that she's got a bigger purpose? Like, do you think the universe saved her life because she's meant to do something great? She says it. Do you believe that that's how things work? Just say yes.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking. I don't just automatically. I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
We get obsessed with this idea of I was meant to do something big. Is that real or is that bullshit? And this is apart from the story. I'm talking about it generally. It helps us. It helps us like be motivated and have like
I
hope for
think
ourselves.
that
but-
our lives and the things that go through, especially the hard times, make us learn more and make us
But if you're close to death
okay.
and you survive, you weren't meant to, but you do, you're gonna have, you're gonna feel like
More.
the universe has given
Yeah.
you a mandate to live
Oh, yeah.
big.
Only 1% of people, and this is only the core body temperature thing. I mean, that's the 1% of the. She had the 80-degree core body temperature
Yeah.
thing. That's only that part, and there's all like 10 other ways that she could have been killed.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Feels like there's a responsibility there, right? But yeah, I mean,
I think it's the whole thing of like, you can't
there's something
you
there.
can't appreciate the sunshine or the rainbow without the rain. Like
Mhm.
everything's going to be a little bit sweeter to you. Everything's going to seem a little bit more important. Was there some greater being or energy or actor involved to save your life, to give you that direction? That's a totally other debatable topic.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat. She talks about the hardest part of it all was the loss of control, and that was during the event itself and the aftermath of it. And I think she's absolutely right. She's a bad bitch to me. And I mean that in like total
In a good way. You're saying good.
Oh yeah,
Good.
she's a baddie. She's 100% respect.
Like that with a PH.
Absolutely.
I see what you're saying.
And she ended up returning to walking, and she's happy on her own, even though a man likes her. And freedom and independence, baby. T, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we did it. Elly.
Okay.
Good job.
Good job. Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of Trauma Bonded. You can find our show where podcasts are kept. Please rate and review us. Thanks to Hillary for sharing their story and giving us the opportunity to talk about it. And thanks to This Is Actually Happening team, including Whit, Missildine, and Andrew Waits, and the maker of our music and website, Nathaniel Tromboli. And thanks to Forrest, Chiras for editing this episode, and to Katy, Caple for building those Instagram posts. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find our YouTube channel name on the show notes because it's kind of difficult to find, apparently. And you can contact us at Trauma Bonded Pod Official. No, yep. Trauma Bonded Pod Official on Instagram.
Sorry.
Trauma Bonded Pod at Gmail. We are trauma bonded to the story, to the storyteller, to the listeners, and to each other. Thanks for spending time with us today. Love you, T.
Love you, Elly. Good job. Hey, thank you.
Hey, thank you. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Trauma bonded.